Let's talk sci-fi. Let's talk science fiction. Why is science fiction important? But before I get into it, I just want to say, hey, hello again. It's been a while. Did you miss me? I know you did. I know you missed me. Um, yeah, let's get into it. Why is science fiction important? Science fiction is important for any people who want to progress and escape the shackles of their bondage. Science fiction is important because before you make an action, you have to have the imagination to vision where you're going to be. You know, in science fiction, we can dream of worlds free of uh, free of white supremacy, free of oppression. You have to vision it. You have to see it first, and that's why the imagination matters. It's why the arts matters. It's why sci-fi matters, especially in this increasingly technological age. Yeah, you have to have a response to that. Okay, as the climate is being shredded, you know, as um, the Urugu, the Europeans dominate in this post-industrial age, and they turn the sky black and the water toxic. You have to be able to imagine where you're going to be. Okay, so I saw this really interesting article in the New York Times. John W. Campbell. I mean, I love my sci-fi, but I don't know the author. I'm not telling you that I'm some amazing sci-fi head buff or something, but I don't have to know everybody. Um, John W. Campbell Award is renamed after winner criticizes him. And forgive me, Jeanette, I don't know how to say your name. I know it's Vietnamese. Jeanette Ng, I'm going to say Ng, if that's okay. Jeanette Ng, who won the prize this year, said the man it was named after set the tone of science fiction that still haunts the genre. How interesting. That's her. Science fiction is largely concerned with the future, but the genre's past, dominated as it is by white men, is increasingly up for debate among the new generation of writers. The latest episode occurred this week when the magazine Analog Science Fiction and Fact said it would drop John W. Campbell's name from its annual prize for Best New Writer because of racist sentiments he had expressed. Campbell ran the magazine under his previous name, Astounding Science Fiction, from the late 1930s until his death in 1971, and is one of the genre's most and was one of the genre's most influential editors, working with such writers as Isaac Asimov, Arthur C. Clarke, Robert A. Heinlein. He was the author of sci-fi under his own name and as Don A. Stewart. He also wrote in support of segregation, called slavery a useful educational system, and claimed black writers did not or could not write in open competition, in addition to making derogatory comments about women and homosexuality. In a 1998 essay, Racism and Science Fiction, the award-winning author Samuel R. Delany recalled Campbell rejecting a submission of his, saying the editor didn't feel the readership would be able to relate to a black main character. There you go. The decision to remove Campbell's name from the award came after this year's winner, Jeanette Ng, criticized him in her acceptance speech. He is responsible for setting a tone for science fiction that haunts the genre to this very day, she said. Stale, sterile, male, white, exulting in the ambitions of imperialists, colonialists, settlers, and industrialists. On Tuesday, Analog Science Fiction and Fact said it was changing the prize's name from the John W. Campbell Award for Best New Writer to the Astounding Award for Best New Writer. In a blog post explaining the decision, the magazine's editor, Trevor, I can't say that, Quatry, wrote, Campbell's provocative editorials and opinions on race, slavery, and other matters often reflected positions that went beyond just the mores of his time and are today at odds with modern values, including those held by the award's many nominees, winners, and supporters. Ng, who wrote the fantasy novel Under the Pendulum Sun, said in an interview on Wednesday that she was delighted by the decision. It's a good move away from honouring a completely obnoxious man who kept a lot of people out of the genre, who kept a lot of people from writing, who shaped the genre to his own image. Thanks to the change, she added, we're now celebrating a little more neutrality. We're now celebrating a little more neutrally a piece of history that's not attached to his name. Alec Navala Lee, whose book Astounding, John W. Campbell, Isaac Asimov, Robert A. Heinlein, L. Ron Hubbard and the Golden Age of Science Fiction, examines Campbell's contributions to science fiction and also supports the change. It was clearly the right call, he said. At this point, the contrast between Campbell's racism and the diversity of the writers who have recently received the award is really just too glaring to ignore. Quattry credited Navala Lee's book and Ng's speech for pushing his publication, which is owned by Dell Magazines, to acts. Reading an early draft of Alec's book is when I realized the name change would need to happen eventually, he said. Ng's speech, he added, really gave me a wonderful opportunity. For Navala Lee, it's unavoidable that, as a creator of science fiction, Campbell will be judged by how well he anticipated societal changes. He has to be judged by the highest possible standard, as a man of the future, Navala Lee said. And I think he really fell short. Yes, he did fall short. He did. You know, you only have to think about the population change, how Africans are beginning to dominate populations, how finally after black population numbers were decimated after the slave trade, black people are coming into the ascendancy, demographics wise. You know, we're becoming blacker, you know, as a society, as a humanity, which, you know, is really fitting. It's really fitting because, you know, black people were first. And there's no future without us. There's no future without us. So I'm really heartened to read. It's a really good day, and it's a great article. You know, it stands in contrast to, for instance, the fucking Guardian, right? And here's an opinion piece by Sean Kane. Okay, now this was in response, you know, to the New York Times article. I must confess, I saw this article first actually. Enid Blyton had racist views, but I still read her. I'm not, you know, I'm going to leave a link. I'm not going to read this article, okay? But she references the New York Times article about Campbell, and basically says, you know, are we going to throw everybody out who had views we don't agree with today? I say fuck yes. You know, I say yes to that. We're gonna make a world that looks like us, feels like us, is black and is beautiful. That's what we're gonna do. By the way, I'm gonna rename this channel. I'm gonna rename this channel to Black Excellence. That's what I want. You know, as Jeanette Ng has said here, you know, we have to make the future in our own image, and I want to spend more time creating that future. It also means I'm going to be less reactive. I'm not going to react to fucking trends. I mean, fuck that. I mean, a lot of people do that. But this is a tool for me to meet people like you who are listening to what I'm saying here, people who want to comment, yeah, and people, and you know, I want to meet people like you. If you're listening to this now, I want to talk to you. I want to meet like minds, and I want to build this future, this new future with you. That's what I want to do. Okay? So, welcome to Black Excellence. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do you read science fiction? Do Anyway, just let me know. Let me know what you think.